What's going on, Fit Pros? In today's video, I had the pleasure of sitting down with an amazing fitness coach, Frank, who is having one major problem in his fitness coaching business: poor quality leads. Now, this is something that plagues so many fitness coaches. We were able to jump in, solve that problem with him. You're about to see exactly how, but more importantly, we actually found out a different problem. Frank had been sitting on a gold mine of leads that he's been having to turn away because they couldn't afford his service. I want to show you exactly how we've been able to tap into that huge gold mine of niche by just implementing a different kind of system to not only be able to serve these clients with minimal effort, but use that money to fund the acquisition for his bigger ticket clients. So I'm going to walk you guys through exactly how we did both of those things, and you're going to get to hear from Frank himself. So let's dive straight into it.
Most mentors I work with, they always say the followers don't matter. It's about,
Yeah,
the people who need money. So
exactly, man. Like, for example, we got one of the guys in the program, David. He's got maybe 800 followers. In 33 days of launch, he's done 5 high ticket client sign-ons worth 12.5K, 800 followers, right? It doesn't matter. Like, even
right.
when I started using the $5 an hour VA outreach system, like, I had a fake Instagram account, 500 fake followers. Like, there was no one there. No one knew me, had no name, nothing, right? And so it even worked then. Like, I brought in 15 grand in 16 days. And then first 75 days, scaled it up to around 50 grand, right? Like, just no account, you know what I mean? No followers, nothing. So that's the least important factor out of everything.
Thanks.
Yeah. So you're in good hands, brother. But I'm keen to dive in, man. Like, tell me a little bit more about what's going on. I read your form. I know you mentioned the main issue for you right now is just getting qualified leads. Tell me a bit more
Right.
about that.
Yeah, main issue for me, I think that's that's been the major roadblock in my business for the past year or so. Maybe even 2 years.
Okay.
So even when we first linked up, when we first spoke, that was the
Right.
main issue.
Yeah.
I've worked with a couple of different mentors. As you know, with the space business coaching, everyone has different methods of how they do it.
That's right.
And it got to a point where for me it was a lot of cognitive dissonance and a lot of just like noise. I was just like, oh, everyone's telling me all this, but they're all different things. And I got almost like analysis paralysis where I was just like, damn, I don't even know what to do anymore because everybody's telling me something different. So majority of my leads still come from Instagram. I've gotten some from LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I just got to learn how to tap into that because everybody I've had from LinkedIn, they paid me two 2K paid in full, no questions.
Yeah.
I haven't had some guy tell me like, hey, if you had told me 3,000, I would have paid that, no question. So
Yeah.
um, most of my leads come from my followers already right now, and I recently just started committing to reaching out to um, at least 50 a day. And honestly, I really should pay a VA to send 100 messages a day to my followers. That would make more sense, you
Yeah.
know.
Definitely.
um, or at the very least, starting the conversation, then I can take it from there. Because not everybody responds. So
Yeah.
most of my leads come from that. Some come from content, like I might put out good content, people comment or people DM me,
Mhm.
and I haven't really done a lot of cold DMing in the past because my account grew. I had a viral video a year or so ago, and my account grew tremendously to 50 something thousand. And most of my clients have been from that. I've gotten a few from TikTok. I've gotten a couple from Facebook, but majority come from Instagram. But as you know, with having a large following, just because you have a large following doesn't mean that they're qualified
That's right.
leads. Majority are either too young, or they don't have the money, or they're not in the right stage of the journey. Like they might be problem aware, but they're not ready to make an investment,
Yeah.
or they might not be problem aware. So that's been my biggest issue. I've never really done cold DMing. It's ever since I saw your video, I started doing a little bit more cold. I've gotten followers off that. I've gotten a few people to. I've sent some freebies off that, but I haven't gotten anybody on the phone yet.
Interesting.
Maybe maybe I shouldn't say I haven't done cold DMing because I've done it on LinkedIn. That's how I got the LinkedIn clients.
Got you. Okay.
Um, it's different than the warm to my own audience because that's different. Like, it's easy to approach those people, right?
Yeah. Man, this is interesting. You've got so many different avenues you can go down with this. And just to your point about like so much noise, you know what I mean? So many different strategies you can do. Something I learned from two of my mentors actually. One of them, his principle is more, better, new. So when you have a certain strategy, max it out in terms of volume. When you can't do any more volume, then look to refine it, make it better, perform better, right? Let's say the unit of productivity or effectiveness when you're doing more is 1 out of 10, right? When you're
Mhm.
just smashing volume. If you can even get it to 5 out of 10, now you're performing at 5 times more. When you've done both of those to the very best you can do, and it's actually getting results, then and only then should you look to incorporate something new, right?
Right,
My other mentor also explains is when you have a strategy, like you said, any strategy out there, it does have merit, right?
right,
That's why all these guys have built their name on it, right? Every strategy actually works. The best strategies actually point you in a general northern direction. You'll never ever get a strategy that's dead on perfect. They'll get you northwest, northeast. Your job is to find those tiny 2% improvements that bring that needle back to true
right,
north. Most people screw that up. They think the improvements to perfect it are these big 20% advances. Cool, let's switch up the niche. Let's switch up this, that totally change this. And then you go way outside. It's
right.
just these tiny little degrees. And so that's actually what I want to work on with you because from what it sounds like, the strategies you've been using, you're actually like standing on a gold mine right now. There's a lot that we can do sticking with your thing
Right.
of even tapping further into your current audience because I actually have an idea for you that can be make more money from what you're currently doing, but also showing you how to make the most out of the cold outreach, how to get super qualified leads because that is the beauty of cold outreach is compared to anything else out there, even better than Facebook ads, whatever. Cold outreach is the only thing that you can pinpoint select exactly who you want to talk to.
Right.
You don't need to muck around with tire kickers if you don't want. Just like your experience with LinkedIn, right? You're going right after the people that have cash, they're serious about their business, serious about their health, right? You can choose. So if you can choose to put yourself in a Ferrari every time, why not do it? That's the beauty of cold outreach. You don't need to just talk to everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Cool. So what I'll do, I'll share my screen. I'm
Okay.
going to kind of draw this out. Okay. Don't think I can see now. All right. All right. Cool. Have you got me there?
Yeah.
Cool. First thing I want to actually walk on is what you're actually doing right now is solid. So tell me, like, as it stands, what are the price points of your offers?
Right now, my current price points is I recently spoke to somebody who mentioned that I should start offering lower ticket items, which I've started doing just because I realized I was leaving a lot of money on the table. I
That's
was
right.
turning away that I could have gotten in at a
Mm.
lower ticket with less
Yeah.
work for me. So I started implementing that this week, and I picked up two low ticket clients from
Great.
that.
Great. Great.
Um,
Great. Great. That's
but
exactly the angle we were going to go on. Oh,
yeah,
wait. So what's the price for that one? Your lower ticket?
I haven't yet decided. I've been pitching it at 1,500 for 3 months,
No.
but I think it's still kind of high because my regular price is 2,000 for 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a great idea here for you. So we've got even you say 2000 for 3 months. Great prices, by the way. Like this is beautiful sweet spot for high ticket. I would still honestly consider both of these though in the high ticket realm. The
Okay.
thing that we do in one of our programs, so our core program really focuses on just building high ticket programs, getting sales in the door. Cool. This is your big profit, your big cash up front, right? But as you said, there are a lot of people who can't afford that, right?
Right.
We can still support, help, and make money from people, 80% of the leads that we would normally have to turn away. And
Right.
so what we do here is actually create a true low ticket offer. And this one, we price it anywhere from 200 to 300 a month. The difference is, remember, all of your time is going to be going into serving these clients,
Right.
right? As it should be. You should be providing your highest level of service for your highest paying clients. That only makes sense. But your low ticket clients, you can still help. However, the time here that you're going to spend with them is going to be very, very minimal. The reason why is because you build out essentially an evergreen program that can assist people, right? So, for
Right.
example, you use one of two ways. You can either A, run this low ticket program through a school group, right? Where you've got all of your modules inside of the school group. Are you a little bit aware of what like school is?
Yeah, I've used it for with a few different people.
Cool. So you can either A, build out a bunch of modules going from, beginner to intermediate, for example, showing them how to get in the gym, how to do the right form, the best core exercises that they need, making it really simple, right? You can have that in there. That's just completely done for you. To gain access to that, it'd be essentially as a subscription thing. They have the private community. They can jump on weekly group calls, for example. That's option one. The other option, which I really like the most, for example, what fitness app are you using right now?
I use Trainerize.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, pretty much all of the guys in the program use Trainerize as well. This is the one that I love the most, and you can justify this price really easily. It'd operate the same way. Difference is who you would hire to essentially build out the training plans, build out the nutrition is either an assistant coach or, again, a $5 an hour VA. I do this in my program. My client success manager for my clients is a $5 an hour VA. All they do, they have their script. Every day they check in with every single client. I've given them their CRM so they know where everybody is up to. They know what people should be doing by a certain date. They've got the performance checklist for each person and they check in. They do that every day. The only time I step in is when a client has a problem and she tells me that day. I don't get overwhelmed with all the other stuff. I don't have to do check-ins myself. That cuts down my workload by 60%, and she cost me $5 a day.
Right.
Meanwhile, she's servicing my $200-300 a month clients, right? That's option A. If you build out SOPs for her on how she can assist you in taking some of the workload. I'm not saying she designed the workout plans or she designed nutrition, but if you have, all of the things that you would need to do to service this client, to set them up, and then they just
Right.
run themselves. If you can identify, cool, well, I definitely need to do all this stuff. This is me. But all this stuff, I can build out an SOP and delegate it to my $5 an hour VA. Cool. This way now, we can run our $200-300 a month low ticket stuff to 80% of people you'd normally turn away. You do very minimal work here. Most of it's delegated to either a $5 an hour VA or an assistant coach. You can find incredible assistant coaches on Upwork. They can service each of your clients for around 50 to $100 max. They know how to do the full training, the full nutrition. And so now they can go all the way up to here doing all of this. The only thing you would have to do is group calls.
Right.
That's it. Your clients down here, your low ticket ones, they still get access to on the group calls. In fact, they actually value your time even more because they see you once a week. They're going to bring their questions. They're going to show up. The rest of the time, you've got someone else taking care of them. Even if you do pay them $100 per client, right, to manage the rest of the process, you're still walking away with, 2/3 of the check every time.
Right.
And now it's practically passive. Like they're doing 90% of the stuff here for you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. No, it makes sense.
The reason this is so sick is because, man, you stack up a couple of these. This is right here, free cash flow. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you do nothing for it. That's our outlook on low ticket. Like I do not believe in treating a low ticket client like a high ticket client. I see so many coaches like come through and that's the only model. I'm like, are you kidding me? Right? But this here is straight up free cash flow. And how we use this is to fund all of our acquisition for high ticket. So here's the breakdown of it. If you have a $5 an hour VA who's sending 100 a day, to send 100 a day, typically, it's gonna be around 4 hours worth of work, right? So you're looking at around $20 a day for them to do everything. The script that we use in our program, it takes you completely out of the DMs. It's a very, very short script until we get to the value pitch. It's like 3 or 4 messages. So they actually can do the entire script for you. You don't need to take over anything. It's literally designed that they just follow the script. It's personalized as well.
Right.
Follow the script and they book you calls. That's it. So if you got one person doing that, $20 a day, let's kind of play this out. Across the 5 days, we're looking at 100 a week. Across the month, we're looking at 400 a month. If you're paying that out of pocket, it's a little bit much. But remember, if we stack up two of these guys, they are essentially paying for all of our acquisition for high ticket clients for free,
Right.
right? The best thing that we actually do is, at least in the program, is we actually walk you through how to get these guys for $3 an hour and get them to work even harder. So it saves you money. And when it comes to scaling, see, this is just for 100 a day. But if you want to really go for the kill, whether it's on LinkedIn as well or Instagram, it doesn't matter. If you want to really go for the kill and just have 100 cold conversations with financially pre-qualified people, so the quality is great every time. Let's say you want to specialize in helping doctors or
Right.
lawyers or you know business people in their 30s, in their 40s, whatever it is. If that is your niche, which is why you have to niche down, by the way, because
Right.
if you don't have anything specific, we can't build any kind of list. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually going to show you how we build those quality lead lists in a second. But what we like to do in the program is get them down to $3 an hour. And then essentially, instead of just rolling off 100 a day, which is still a huge, huge advantage. Because if you only book one call a day out of that 100 a day, you're booking 5 quality calls a week. If you can only close 1 to 2 of them for your 2K price point with your high quality niche, you're walking away with 2 to 4 grand per week, assuming they're all paid in fulls.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you wanted like undeniable numbers here, this is where we get an army of VAs, right? Say you've got a bunch of people paying you stuff here, right? They're all providing you free cash flow on your low ticket thing. Cool. We can have one VA here, one VA here, one VA here. All of them sending whatever, 100 a day,
Right.
right? Total, you're looking at like 500 DMs a day. How many calls do you reckon you'll be able to book out of that?
You get even 5%. That's a good amount of calls.
Telling you, man. And again, the big like question here is like, okay, cool, they're sending all these DMs, but to who? This is where things get like awesome. I'll walk you through this. So let's say your niche was doctors. Okay. There's a few different ways to do this, but if you want I'll give you the easiest way, right? Your VAs will do this. I'll give you the easiest way to find like pinpoint accurate leads, and I'll give you like the bulk way. A little bit less accurate, but you'll be sitting on like tens and thousands of leads. So the easiest way right now, like let's say again, we're working with doctors. We've got our niche, bang. We're gonna write this in. Search up doctor, that's all we're gonna do. And we're just gonna look for any guy that looks like a doctor, that looks like he could use our help, right? If your thing is cool, you know how to help people with a skinny frame pack on heaps of muscle. This guy would fall bang into that,
Right.
right? He'd be the perfect candidate. Doctor, 45K, this guy's got money. You know what I'm saying? So cool. Number one, what your VA will do, they'll find what we call like the base clientele, the base profile, which is this guy. And then we click the suggested, and just like that, we've got doctor, 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 all of these here. Look at it. It just doesn't end. Doctor, 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 doctor. These guys didn't show up in the search, but they show up here in the suggested. This is what my VAs used very early on, and this is how we scaled so rapidly. It was because we only had conversations with quality people. That was it. Just using this, right? And so just like that, I mean, we've got at least 50 so people that we can message just from this guy, right? And then bang, if we run out of people from there, click on another one, do the same process. And we kind of keep going down this rabbit hole. Perfect. 4K followers, great. They're not going to be overwhelmed with DMs. We can hit them up easily. Even more people. And they can do this essentially on the weekend. Build a list of 500 people so that Monday to Friday, they just lock in and focus on cool, 100, 100, 100. That's it. You know what I'm saying? This is
Wow,
how you,
that's
yeah. Sorry, brother, go on.
I'm saying that's smart.
So this is how you can solve your lead quality issue. Sorry, man, I'm just
Mhm.
gonna message. Got a group call in like 5 minutes. Just gonna delay a little bit.
This was actually the biggest issue I had. Ever since I watched the video, I was like, okay, where do I find
Yeah.
actual quality? And I've just been kind of searching and coming across people, but this actually makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
And the most important thing you need here, brother, is like a niche.
But
What's your niche now?
um, right now, I'm targeting entrepreneurs and business owners. I haven't gotten specific on what kind of business owners.
Great. That's actually awesome. A lot of our guys, we operate in the same niche to make a fuck ton of cash. So that's even easier, right? So we've showed like the pinpoint method, but the one I actually really like the most, and you'll love this, is if your thing is entrepreneurs, cool. Who are entrepreneurs following? Let's start there.
Other entrepreneurs.
Right. Following more established entrepreneurs, big entrepreneurs. Okay,
Right.
cool. So let's see.
One
Let's type
person,
Hmm.
Myron,
Myron.
Myron Golden. I don't know if you know
Spell for me. Myron.
Go. There you go. Second one.
Oh, yep. Got it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Amazing. So this is where the big volume method comes in, right? Now, he's got a huge audience. We can still extract from it, but you have to understand the bigger the personal brand, the more unqualified people will get in. So
I
they
saw that.
yeah.
I tried using your method on his audience. I downloaded like 3,000 people and I was going through it myself. A lot of them were unqualified.
Yeah. So there's a trick. We only show this in the program, but since we're filming this YouTube video, I'm going to show it to you now anyways, right? There's a trick we use that even if they got a huge audience and most of it is unqualified, there's something that we can do. So what we do, we go over to that spreadsheet, whatever it is, okay? I'll pull one out real quick. Let me get to it. See. Okay, got it. So let's say you've got your big list right here. To try and sort through each of these is insane. It's nuts. So how can we kind of like cut through everything? We use a formula. So what we do, for example, we'd highlight that part there, and then we go, if I can remember this correctly, my VAs usually do this one. We go create a filter, wherever it is. Yep, create a filter. And then you want to use this little funnel button, okay? And you want to go filter by condition. Drop it down. You want to say text contains. And now you want to type in the kind of things that your ideal entrepreneur would have in their name, in their bio. It could be coach. And just like that, we've filtered out everyone. And now we're just left with people that say coach, right? We might want to try something else. So instead of coach, what's something else that someone might have in their bio, right?
Of course.
Course. Cool. Now, these leads are fitness leads. No one's going to have course in their bio, but your guys might. We could have as well, if your guys mentor would be really killer. Again, we've only got one guy in the thing. This is like totally different lead set, right? But you can find any like core names, like any keywords, add that filter in, and you can download even the biggest person's list, and you
Wow.
can still find the gold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some like little hacks there for you, brother. But in general, what do you think of all these different kind of strategies?
No, this is golden. This is like so one thing that I love doing this, you're basically thinking along the train of thought that I've been thinking, which is the platform gives us everything we need. We just got to be creative with how we find the leads, you know?
Yeah.
Um, One thing that I realized recently, I don't know if you've caught on to that. A lot of these big accounts, not all, but a lot of big accounts have broadcast channels. If you go to their broadcast channels, their most engaged people like the broadcast that they put in there, and you can actually just reach out to
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, I didn't even know that. There you go. Awesome stuff, brother.
them.
I
Yeah,
mean,
all very useful.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool, man. I mean, in general, brother, with everything that we kind of went over, what are your thoughts here, man?
My thoughts here. I feel like everything you mentioned, especially the low ticket. So the funny thing is the low ticket, 200, 300. That's what my old high ticket used to be when I first started. So
Yeah.
having that ticket would be awesome. And then everything you said with how that had hiring, I didn't even know you could hire assistant coaches from
I'll
Upwork.
put, yeah, yeah.
Hiring from Upwork and having them take the work, that makes perfect sense. And then having that pay for acquisition for the rest, that makes perfect sense.
Mm.
This is kind of along the lines of how I was thinking to scale up. But what I do know for a fact is that me trying to do all this stuff myself would be a lot of work. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is definitely this makes sense. You know, I saw the video you posted today. I don't know if you well, you do know about it because you posted about the different extremes. You know, there's ads, you waste a lot of money. There's
Yeah.
posting organic content, it's a lot of time. You could do all three. So the way I see it, um, this is how I'm kind of planning this in my head for 2024 because I my goal is to be able to hit 30, 40, 50K months with my business. And I think
Yeah,
it's definitely doable,
for
especially
sure.
with a system and especially with posting good organic content. So um what I need to do is kind of lock in a little bit for like 2, 3 weeks, generate some income.
Mm.
Um then I want to actually do want to work with you because I feel like it'd be even though you do take a percentage, it would be a lot easier for me to scale up a lot quicker if I'm not
Yeah.
handling everything. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
this is a whole system, and it takes time to implement this, right?
For sure, brother. And like that's the thing, even with that percentage program, we actually just closed out our five for it. So we do still have obviously like options. You and I can work together completely one-on-one very closely, for options that don't require the percentage cuts or anything like that. So still plenty of options available, brother. Like we are absolutely here to support you. And whenever you're ready, man, like I know this time around, we're gonna really kick some ass. No
No,
doubt.
I think everything you just showed me, but like it just made my life a lot easier. You don't even know.
Good
Um,
stuff.
the two tricks for finding leads, I'm definitely gonna use that this weekend and just build a list and just start reaching out.
Cool.
I had the script from that video on my
Yep.
screen to use for cold, and it works pretty well. Like
Yeah.
it's genius just thinking about reply to their stories. It's a very high percentage success rate, you know,
Exactly. Oh yeah.
as of randomly cold DMing like, hey, how long have you been doing being a doctor for? You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure, for sure. Man, good stuff, brother. So glad we got to connect again. Super stoked that I got to at least assist you with something, help you out here today. And yeah, brother, whenever you're ready, it'd be my honor to be able to work with you again and help you out, brother.
No, I appreciate this, honestly. I appreciate you. And hopefully I'll be reaching out sooner rather than later.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. You have a great day, brother. I'll catch you soon, yeah?
Take care.
Later.